So let's see more about nature and scope of disaster. Taking into the consideration the scope of disaster, some of the important facts must be through over as follows. The first step will be pre-disaster phase. Second is warning phase. Third is emergency phase. Fourth is rehabilitation phase. And fifth is recovery phase. And last is reconstruction phase. So after disaster, the management will be go by following these steps. So taking into the consideration the nature and scope of disaster, only three aspects of disaster are important for common citizen. तो हमारे लिए सिर्फ तीन एस्पेक्ट्स है. The first one is phase of emergency, second is transitional phase, and third is reconstruction phase. So all these three phases are very, very important. Let's see one by one. The first phase of emergency. Important character of this phase is that maximum lives can be saved by quick action during this phase only. सबसे ज़्यादा ज़िंदगी अगर बचानी है तो हम पहले ही फेज़ में इमरजेंसी लगा देते हैं. Various actions like search and rescue operations, medical assistance, first aid, restoring communication services, removing the people from affected area are expected in this phase. Gravity of disaster can be estimated in this phase only. So this is the first phase called phase of emergency. Now second, transitional phase. In this phase, rehabilitation work is started in this phase. So after this subsidence of any type of disaster, it includes clearing of debris, restoring water supply, repairing roads, etc., so that it will help to bring a normalcy in public life. Rehabilitation of the victim is important aspect of this phase. Generally, different institutes offer the monetary and other type of help to the people. It helps to soothe the mental stress at the earliest if these victims are offered with permanent mean of earning livelihood, and this is true rehabilitation. So this is about transitional phase. Third phase is reconstruction phase. In this phase, this is highly complicated phase. This phase begins in transitional phase. People reconstruct their buildings and facilities like road and water supply and are restored. Farming practices are restarted. However, it takes long time for reconstruction. Now, planet Earth has experienced many natural disasters. So we have seen all types of disasters here in this lesson. So listening to the description of those disasters brings numbness to the mind. Most of the disasters are related unprecedented situations have been occurred in the Asian continent and a region of Pacific Ocean. Huge loss of life and the planet Earth has been occurred due to such disasters. Generally, such conditions of natural imbalance have been arisen due to greed of economic progress of human being. So all these nature itself is hurt due to human activities. So in reality, old problems of several years become, for example, increasing population, its increasing need, emerging problem out of it, and are now at extreme end. Such disasters have been increased after the World War II. Condition of instability arises in the country due to various reasons like economic inequality, racial and religious differences, etc. And incidences like terrorism, abduction, social differences have been a routine now. So production and use of harmful chemicals is under ban in developed countries. However, production of either same or those chemicals which can wipe out the human race in common in developing and poor countries. So all these disasters are natural as well as man-made disasters. Behind all these activities, human activities are responsible. Now One picture is shown here. Let's see. In this picture is in 2014 there had been a huge landslide in village Marin, Tahsil Ambegaon district, Pune. So here one school has been totally demolished and it is reconstructed. See the same picture, reconstructed after the disaster. So another such threat to human being is from the atomic energy plant. Example, radiation leakage occurred after a blast in atomic energy plant in Chernobyl, Russia. So its ill effects are still experienced in that region. Here in India also, Bhopal tragedy, Bhopal gas tragedy, the people are suffered for a lot of years from that gas tragedy. So this atomic energy plant was only used by electricity generation. Nowadays, many countries are equipped with atomic energy. Out of this, management has been become a foremost need of almost all the nations. In fact, it is most necessary for citizens of all countries because they are the main sufferers in any type of disaster. Hence, direct participation of the citizen in disaster management is highly necessary. Similarly, disaster management scheme should be changed with respect to the location, time, and nature of the disaster. It should not be restricted for particular period. Overall, there may be any type of disaster, it should be overcome. Concept of disaster management has been arisen out of this only. तो ये जो कुछ भी ट्रेजेडी हो गई है या जो कुछ भी disasters human being experienced, so human being drawn out the disaster management. So we will see it in next period.